Hello, welcome to my course on 10 principles for efficient management. We start with principle 1, planning ahead. Alan Lakein is an American author from Johns Hopkins University and Harvard Business School and currently resides in Santa Cruz, California. His famous quotes include planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Another one is failing to plan is planning to fail. So another one is time equals life. Therefore, waste of your time is waste of your life. So master your time and you master your life. So you got to ask the question, what's the best use of my time right now? And I think you're doing it very well by attending this course, which is going to make you a big difference in life. If your days are dictated by routine activities, you're likely to have a large value gap. That is a feeling of unhappiness or incompletion in spite of all the things you've done. Like completing whatever you wanted at work, but not being able to spend quality time for yourself or with the family. The trick is to sort out the important and urgent ones that hit our mental or physical desks and to prioritize action on them. This comes out of practice and common sense. And you must be developed pretty early in your career. And that will help you to progress faster. The manager is judged by his ability or her ability to manage people and happenings. For this, managers must first learn to manage their own time. All of us have only 24 hours in a day, and yet some achieve a lot in a working day of 8 hours, whereas others have been just busy, slogging away throughout the day. At the end of the day, they have subminimal results. So, we must learn to distinguish urgent from important. At the first glance, everything in the entry, physical or mental, looks urgent, but on reflection, you will find many of them can wait attention. So, let's begin with the planning process. How often have you heard this answer? Sorry, I haven't had the time, or I couldn't call, I was snowed under, or there's just not enough hours in a day, got so many things to do. Most of us have gone through this process in our life sometime or the other. Managing time can be done by a systematic planning process. We need to understand first that planning is a process. Many people become so caught up in activities and deadlines that they claim that there's no time even to plan. Yet, planning is the best way to create your own future. Once you start the planning process, you'll find that each day will have a new meaning. So let's have a look at the planning process. Start with annual planning. So you must plan for business and personal matters. See, business goals are often set on an annual review process or performance measurement process, whichever is applicable. And then one keeps track of the progress. But do you? Do you, once those are set, do you track how you're progressing on a monthly, quarterly, half yearly basis? Do that. Take the time to create personal plans as well. Plan your holiday, plan a day out with the family. Write down your long term and short term goals. Break them down into months, break them down into weeks, and then break them down to working days. Looks huge, but no, get down to it. Once you get down to writing the stuff down, then you'll find it easy. Now, you've got to create goals, create SMART goals. What do I mean by SMART goals? SMART. S stands for being specific. It's like saying, I will complete the economic environment part of the marketing plan. That's being specific. It has to be measurable. Whatever task that you has to be measurable. Like the economic environment is one part of the marketing plan. So there. And then it has to be attainable. So SMA, attainable. It must be reasonably attainable. So you must use your common sense. Then it has to be relevant. For R stands for relevant. The task that you need to complete must be closely connected to what is being done at your workplace. And finally, trackable, where you can keep track of the progress. You, whatever that you do, you must keep track of it. So those are called smart goals. So, got to put them down in writing and review them monthly. Research shows that when you write down, you remember. You have to keep a place to keep your goals. You must have a place. Write down the place that's easy to access at the touch of a button. With practice, you will know where to reach for, and there are lots of softwares available for this. Take time each month to document actions and review results for each goal. When you review the goals, create relevant appointments and tasks to support them. Then plan action at the same time for each point. Delete or cross it out if you have completed it or you no longer find it necessary. So, how do you plan your time of the day? Your daily plan is the most vital part of your planning. We all have 86,400 seconds to allocate every day. That's 24 hours. Think of it as a bank account. Only you cannot carry over the unspent amount at the end of each day. So follow the time commitments below, and I guarantee you that you will be more productive than before. Start by analyzing the present situation by writing down your daily activities and the time consumed for each activity. Then, the commitments that you must make, and this is mandatory for you to be successful. Make time for sleep, rest, and reflection. If you become sleep deprived, you will be less productive and more likely to fall ill and make mistakes. Keep your mind healthy too. Explore meditation, it works. Make time for scheduling appointments, commitments, meetings, telephone calls, and remember to include the travel time when you're going out of office for appointments, and set an end time for appointments. I used to do that when I used to travel from Dubai to Sharjah. I had to make sure that I'd use that time. I'd make allowance for the time that I'm going to spend on the road and find a parking place, etc. Yeah? So that has to come into your planning process. Many a time people forget to do that. And then for your high priorities, treat the time for your high priorities like you would with an important client. With your colleagues, you've got to spend some time with them, to help you, delegate, and keep them informed. Don't expect them to know everything. You know what is happening and why. You've got to explain. And you must remember the Pareto principles. What is the Pareto principle? It's the 80-20 rule. Recognize 20% of the activities that give you 80% of the results. We will speak more about it in a bit. You must make specific time for your email. Don't let your emails plan your day. Plan 4 times in a day to review and action your mails. There is a complete chapter I've written on managing mails. Make time for lunch and energy breaks. Always take energy breaks and refill it intelligently. To stay healthy and fit, you must make an appointment for yourself for a walk, a run, a game of tennis, one exercise at least per day. You must do it. And at the end of the day, make it a habit to review your tasks on a daily basis. Keep 10 to 15 minutes to plan the next day. Record what went well at the end of the day. Thank the people who helped you achieve the results in your day. And you must do this before you leave your workplace. It's like a stress relief to go home and, you know, with a plan rather than going home with thoughts circling in your head. And the family will be talking to you, your mind will be at work. Happens to all of us. Make a commitment to learning something new. Become a lifelong learner. It'll keep your mind fit for a long haul. For your family, friends, and community, give generously. To the special people in your life, in your family, be proactive with your family's social and community life. Remember Parkinson's law? Work expands to fill the time allotted. Remember that. I used to know a chap who used to turn up to work on weekends and do all his work. He spent about a couple of hours at work in the office doing that. That's ridiculous. Schedule an hour for unprepared events. Sometimes you plan a day, something happens, and so plan it. Keep some time allocated for unprepared events. Schedule an hour of your day when you cannot be disturbed. Nothing on earth should be able to, nobody should be able to touch you at that particular time. Evaluate your schedule from time to time. Post your goals in a place where you can see it. Most often it's hidden in your diary in a to-do list, so you don't know. But if you place it somewhere where you can see, then it kind of reminds you every minute. And identify your time wasters. Keep a note of the time wasted, especially by time wasters. How many times have you noticed the casual interruptions like, hey, guess what? Somebody comes and says that, and that throws you out of the schedule completely, depending on what's the content that's going to be poured out to you. Human beings are curious too. So if somebody says, hey, guess what? You'll say, what? Finally, implement your schedule. Most managers find an avalanche of emails, to dos, and stuff comes from all directions. That's quite nerve wracking, and you end up with a 10 to 12 hour routine regularly. Now, the managers feel they are organized, but are they really? How many important things fall off the table? How many intentions were there that could not be actioned? How many days since you've had a family outing, for example? Today, we have all the gadgets, but still can't seem to manage work within the 8 hours of a significantly large time frame. So, how to turn your intentions into actions? By not giving into procrastination. What's procrastination? It's you have got to do it, but you still delay it. The solution is in your head, just that you're not punching the right buttons. Let us find the buttons that will turn your intentions into actions within that allotted time and still have time to reflect. Now start with an honest introspection. How do you manage interruptions from people? Note, it's been estimated that office workers are interrupted once in 8 minutes. And the impact of an interruption is up to 2 to 3 times its duration. That means if someone ambles across for a 10 minute ad, what's up, come across, and you have lost 20 to 30 minutes of productive time. Imagine the scenario repeating yourself 3 times in a day, and you've lost a good part of your day being totally unproductive. Without realizing it, we lose a lot of amount of time due to unnecessary interruptions in various forms. It's totally up to you how you manage people's interruptions by not being rude and sometimes by being rude. But I'll leave that to you to reflect upon until next time then. See you for Principle 2, where we'll see how we are going to work efficiently. See you soon. Bye for now.